Hey guys, good evening and happy Tuesday. Coming to you to share some ideas on getting a morning routine started if you don't already have one, with some things that we do pretty much every single morning. Some of these that I'm going to share to kind of just depend on how much time we have, but I'll share some other ideas if you are limited on time or if you have a commute, just some ways that you can get them in. So, how I start my morning every single day is with this devotional. This is the one I'm using right now. It's called Jesus Calling. And I start every single day before I pick up my phone and get on social media or any of that kind of stuff. I am in here and reading this. I have a couple others that I've read as well. 100 Days to Brave is one that I really enjoyed as well. And I have a few others I haven't gotten a chance to dive into yet. This one I started last year, but I started it midway through the year. So went ahead and restarted it. So this is the first thing that I do, and this literally takes like a minute, if that. And I share a lot of these too in my stories if you follow me in my stories, so you can check those out, especially if I have one that resonates with what I happen to be going through on that particular day. I'll share that in there. And then I also have some prayer time after that. So I do that. And then I get up and I get my workout in, because for me, getting that in first thing gets those endorphins going, feel good, and I make sure it happens. So that is another piece. The next one is our goals. And so we use an app. It's just preloaded on the computer, I believe, but OneNote. And we have our goals typed up in there. And so we will go through, I have my why, which is like my deep down, what motivates me to get up in the morning and keep me going, even on the hard days when I don't feel like showing up, whether it be for just different things in my life. It helps me to stay on track and accountable. So I read through that. I read through my goals and my vision, and with that too, after I'm done, we set a timer for 3 minutes and visualize. So we have a vision board in our office that I will look at before we actually set the timer, but it is things based on our goals and where we want to be with our businesses and with life in general, as far as anything you can dream and anything you can vision, if you want to move to a different location or any of those kind of things, just visualize that. And when you can really put that into play in your mind and then you visualize it, like I said, we just do 3 minutes. We used to do 5, but just for time purposes, that's something that we do. And one thing on that, if you don't have the time to do that, even if you have a screensaver on your phone or something of different images that you are striving for, focusing on those goals and that vision, just having those front and center, or have it on your bathroom mirror or somewhere where you're going to see it all the time, just to keep that going in your mind. And something else, like you could take it, if you don't have the extra time, you could do the visualizations when you're in the shower or when you're getting ready in the morning and things like that. So just try to think outside the box and fit it in different little pockets of time, because it's not like you have to sit down for, say, an hour or 30 minutes or anything like that and get it all done. If you can break it up throughout your morning. And I like to do it in the morning because it helps me start my day off how I want, that's the time that I have control of, I guess, if you want to say. So that is why I do it in the morning. Another thing is affirmations. And so this is something for me for different areas that I may struggle in, or sometimes not quite sure which direction, we're heading in different areas of our life and things like that. So I will have those affirmations and look through those as well. And then after go through all that, we have this little sheet. It's nothing fancy. It's just something we created. Instead of like a journal, this is kind of something we did, and we just put it in a three-ring binder. But we go through daily gratitude. So 3 things every day that we're grateful for, and try to change this up because it's real easy, just speaking from personal experience, to write down the same 3 things. But this is another great way to start your day, just thinking about things that you're grateful for. Something as simple as, having food in the house, or having a roof over your head, or just hearing the birds chirping and things like that. It can be super small, but just it helps you to take a step back and really just clear your mind and think about the things that you are grateful for. Another section that we have on here And again, like I said, this is just kind of our whole routine, but even if you just pick and choose like different pieces that connect with you or that could positively impact your day, the rest of your day, I highly recommend even just picking one or two things. We have a section to connect with family or friends. So there's 3 spots there. Obviously, you can connect with more, but especially with everything that's been going on, just sending a quick text to check in on people and see how they're doing, see how life is treating them. It's gotten some really good conversations going for some people that we haven't talked to in maybe a while. So that is something that we do. We also have a spot on here for special prayer requests. So if there are people we've been talking to and we know they're going through difficult times, then we will add them to that list and make sure that we are praying for them. We also have a section on here where we, instead of just reading through the goals and the affirmations and our why, we handwrite it out, because there's just something about writing it down. It just makes it more real. And so that's something that we do as well. And then I have a section on here to help me keep track of my most important tasks, because I am type A and I like to cross things off a list. And so every Sunday I sit down and plan my week ahead. I block time out on the calendar, and it just helps really set me up for success for the week, because I know when I have deadlines, I know when specific things are due, or when appointments are and things like that, so that I can plan out the rest of my week. And I know when I have blocks of time for different things, because having 2 businesses can be challenging at times. And so I try to have certain times that I'm doing accounting work and certain times that I'm doing coaching. So it helps me to divvy up my days and just really prioritize different things that I have going on. One thing that we also do is we read personal development, personal growth. Although sometimes I don't have time to read, and so it's listening to a podcast. But I just wanted to share, like, this book here is one of my favorites. Marie Forleo, it's Everything is Figure Outable, because it's kind of always been my motto that I'm just going to figure it out. Like, if there's something that I don't know the answer to, obviously there's Google, and that is an amazing resource, but I'll just figure it out. And so I love this book. A couple others I just grabbed. The 5-second rule, because doing stuff like this, like going on video, doing live, has not always been easy for me. And even now, it's not necessarily easy. So just to count it down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hit that go live button and start talking to you guys. So this one is a good one as well. And then Atomic Habits, just as we are creating habits, especially as we're talking about morning routine, this is a really good one too. Just ways that you can help instill those habits a lot faster and just make sure that they're happening. The one thing that we, like I mentioned, podcasts too. So if you guys have any questions about different ones that would be a good fit for you, I've read a lot, listened to a lot over the course of the last handful of years. So just comment and we can chat a little bit more, maybe with some different things that you're struggling with or areas you could use help in, and I can provide some recommendations there. The last thing that we used to do, but we don't do it anymore, or we haven't here recently, is meditation. Something that I really struggle with. It's again hard for me being type A. I always feel like go, 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 and to really calm my mind down and do the meditation was very challenging for me, and we got out of that habit and just haven't gotten back into it. We do have a couple of apps for the guided meditation. One's called Headspace and the other one is Aura. And I'm trying to think. We've done Headspace quite a bit as far as the actual morning meditation goes, and they have some that are as short as 3 minutes. And then with the Aura, we haven't actually tried the meditation piece of it. I've done they have music and stuff like that you can listen to that's supposed to be like focused. And so some of the times when I'm working, I'll listen to that just to drown out other noise that's going on and things like that. So those are a handful of things that we do pretty much every day. And it really just helps set us up for success, because there are so many times prior to doing all this that I just felt like the day was completely gone before it even ever started. I always felt like I was behind and never really, you told me I was going to sit down and read a book, I would have laughed, because for me to stay focused long enough to do that, I would have been asleep First of all, because that was just not something that appealed to me. And so now that we've gotten in that habit and gotten in that frame of mind, it's been a complete life changer. So I strongly encourage you guys, take one or two of these things. If you don't already have a morning routine, implement them into your day. And like I said, if you have any questions or want any of these resources or any links or anything like that, I'm happy to share them. And just would encourage you to share with me what you do for your morning routine. Comment below if there are different things that you do or maybe things that you want to try. And again, just like I said yesterday, we can help hold each other accountable to these things, because I know it's good for me to get back into that meditation. It's good for me to make sure that I'm reading and not just listening to the podcasts and things like that. So we can hold each other accountable through all this. So hope you guys have a great night, and I will be back in here with you guys again this week, just sharing some other tips that have helped me and hopefully can help you as well.